What up, y'all? Late night. Get your popcorn, get all your drink, all that good stuff. We are going to watch episode 2 of the McMahon documentary on Netflix, so keep it locked.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
My dog clearly wants to get in on the action. Beulah, meet the world meet Beulah. But I'm not alone. Courtney, our PR guru is in the building. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to watch episode 2 of this documentary, because if you thought episode 1 was crazy, wait till you see episode 2.
There it is. And the councilman Pharaoh is also in the building with us. How are you doing?
I need a nap. It is hard out here in the streets for the councilman right now, and he requires some sleep. But I am dedicated to watching this watch along for McMahon, and I cannot wait to get into the second one.
So the question, Courtney, because you've seen it, I haven't seen the second one. I watched the first one last night. Will get up, like meaning like will he like awake from him needing a nap after he watches this episode?
Yeah, I think after this one, he's going to be awake.
Okay. Well, do you want to go into what y'all thought of last night's episode 1?
Yeah, so I know last night it tapped into a little bit of his childhood on how he grew up. His stepfather abused him along with his mother. And then at 12 years old, he got to meet his father. And then there was a few dynamics in there because there was a lack of empathy, compassion between the two of them, because before Vince's father's death, he never really acknowledged that he loved him or supported him when he was trying to work his way into the business. But also, there was a lot of shady stuff that did happen when it was starting to grow a bit, from the territorials to the start of WrestleMania. Of course, when Hulkamania was starting to erupt, but it was kind of like the start of the beginning, but also leading into episode 2, where it takes a little bit of a deeper dive, where it's also success, but there's also scandals.
Yeah. Will and I actually were talking earlier this morning about the episode, and I posed this question to you, Courtney, and everybody who's watching or will be watching us. Do you think, one, there's a couple of things. Now that you kind of do the recap about Vince's dad, it feels like a lot of people from that generation, that was kind of all they know as far as parents showing them affection. Like the affection was, if you listen to like the people from Vincent's era, how they talk about their parents, the affection was, I put a roof over your head. So that's one thing. But the other thing too is, if Vince didn't go through that, do you think we would have the WWE that we have now? Like, yes, he's alleged of there's allegations of him doing some terrible stuff, but if he didn't experience the things that he did as a child, do you think where we are right now, as far as WWE taking over the territories, all that stuff, would we be right here, or would we be like 10 years behind?
I think it's a little bit of both, considering if you've seen the stuff that he's done where it was cutthroat, and there was some stuff like he just went forward no matter what. I still think he would have done the same, but I think he would have adjusted a little bit more quickly, because there were times where his father didn't want to like do like the innovative things, like going into the MTV generation and trying to find ways to get into mainstream. And that's what Vince did when he was starting to plan out and head the company. So I think there would be a little bit of healthy relationships, because not to get further along into the documentary, but I feel like there would be some stability with some of the wrestlers, because I know there was a few wrestlers he did have relationships with. Of course, Hulk Hogan is one. Andre the Giant is one. So I think it would be a little bit of a shift, but he would probably learn how to adapt quickly. Like adapt very quickly, but also not throwing everybody under the bus.
Will, what do you think? I mean, you already told me this morning, but recap it for the people that
I think
that weren't in on the phone call this morning.
I think we'd have still got the same McMahon. I think that
You think so?
I think people tend to forget, like, it's also the environment you're around. So it's not even just about the thing of like him being around his family. It's also what the wrestling industry was during that time. It was still war.
Mhm.
It was still dog eat dog. So in some cases, like to your point, Courtney, I think he would have, and then that's the thing too. And that's the thing too of watching this. And from what I'm seeing of, they're like, it was this dude that was heartless, cutthroat, but then also at the same time, I'm just like, okay, somewhere there has to be a sense of morale. Somewhere there has to be a sense of empathy. And even though we're seeing a character, it just may not be shown like that. And
Right.
I think even watching this, like, they didn't really show us that on this first episode, like any of, like, okay, who is Vince outside of this character? And I think like what we talked about was this dude at the age of 12 basically severed himself from this and then became his father. Like, even before like buying the company from him, he's portraying what he's reflecting off of, which is his father. So he acts like him, walks like him. That same charm that Vince Sr. had, he's using that in that same light and just adding to what he already knows. And so now you take it into taking over these territories and how you used to like hear these threats. Like he said, like, yo, bro, like if you come to Mississippi, you'll end up at the bottom of the fucking river. Like that's war, basically. Like, yo, you're threatened, and not only am I going to do that, like, okay, bet, since that's what we're going to be, now it's about to be competition. Now we finna go at it. And so it's just just from watching this one, I've seen like this was a very like unsupervised industry is what I'm picking up on when I watch this.
Right.
This was very like nobody had regulations to this. Nobody is thinking of like, okay, hey, what is it like for a person to portray a character for almost 365 days out the year? Can't show anything else. Like we said, like with Richard Flair, you can't act like Richard Flair. When you're out and about the store, you got to be Ric Flair. So when you see the Iron Sheik, you can't be messing with the Iron Sheik. So it's like, what does that start to do to you psychologically? And Vince McMahon is no different because this dude has been playing a character, as we've seen, for decades now.
I mean, I kind of agree with you guys, but I kind of don't. I feel like we get a different version, but I don't think we get the version that we have now. But and also too, and I'm hoping we do get into that in the later episodes. Vince and WWE have helped countless of times when drug abuse and addiction was a huge thing with wrestlers. They've sent plenty of wrestlers to rehab and stuff like that. Of course, the reason they send them rehab is for them to get to a good position in order for them to make more money for the company. But and saying that, that's still a good thing. And I'm sure there's so many other things that they have done for wrestlers in the past. So we'll get into it. Are you guys ready to start episode 2?
Oh, come ahead, zone, so we don't get no copyright issues going on.
That part.
So I can hear it right. Okay. Yeah, and I got episode 2 up, ready to go.
Yep. Backyard wrestling.
Whoa. Hey, we don't like that term too much. We'll get into that later.
And Sidell saying episode 4 is when it gets bad. I mean, okay. I kind of knew what to expect after seeing enough Teddy Long shots at him, but it still blew my mind. Oh boy. All right. Well, let's get into episode 2.
Okay. All right, just give us
and
a
it's called
countdown.
Heat.
Oh, just so you know,
Uh,
I got commercials on my Netflix. So just keep that
I
in
didn't even know
mind.
Netflix.
So,
I didn't even know commercials came on Netflix. That's
well, that's because you're rich. So yes, that doesn't surprise
wow.
me that you wouldn't know that.
I wish the case is not. But yeah, I didn't even know Netflix had a commercial. Do you have commercials too, Courtney?
No, mine's commercial free.
She's a PR princess.
Okay.
Of course, she wouldn't have that. Us common folks over here. Remember, I'm just a councilman. Okay, I'm not a senator. All right, I am on a budget. All right, so my Netflix has commercials. Not only that, you can't even watch everything on Netflix, which is just the most.
Really?
Yeah, like they had Equalizer 3 on here, and they was like, you can't watch that unless you have the account that's $14.99 a month and up.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What's the account that you have?
I guess I have just the basic economy one, that's $6.99.
Huh. Well, we'll have to figure that out for you.
And it comes with ads. Well, I do it for a reason though. I do it for a reason though. It's because like a lot of my friends are here in LA, so like you get to see them in these commercials, like when they go to them. So I'm like, oh man, that's my homie, and like I get to like shoot that and then send it to them because they never know where all of these things post at. So that's another reason why too I keep commercials.
Oh, kudos to you for actually like watching. I'm such a multitasker, but anyways, are we ready to press play?
Yeah, just give us the countdown.
All right, let me go this. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Netflix N showing up on the screen.
Oh my god.
Let's turn this down. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, Vince. Wow, this is what we do.
Yep.
And I feel like
stand back. He does have some dance moves.
wait, is he really singing or is he milli-vanilling this?
No, I think that's him singing.
Hey, can we pause this right quick?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we pause this?
Yeah.
I just pause.
Yeah. Let's pause.
I see why they only show the part where he's dancing. That song is horrible. I see why every time you see these clips and they show that scene, it's only him dancing. They don't never play the song in like reels or anything that they show that has this scene in it. They never show him singing, and I see why. That was horrible.
I disagree. Disagree.
That was horrible.
It wasn't Beyonce or Whitney, but for him to dress up in that outfit, do those moves, and actually sing on top of that, that's pretty impressive.
No. See, that's that participation medal bullshit that you talking right there.
Wow.
Stop doing that. The dancing was great. All of that part, the performance part was great. That singing, you should have got someone else to do that for you. You should have to do that for you. Everything else was good. It's just when you started singing, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot you're Vince McMahon. And just some things you should not be doing. And singing is one of them. Oh my goodness.
Courtney, do you feel the same way?
I remember the first time I actually saw this clip, and this is when DX was impersonating the McMahons, and they showed that clip on TV, and I was cracking up, and I was like, is this really Vince? Is this really him? So I thought it was entertaining. I mean, I know he can't sing professionally, but I just thought it was really entertaining, and the way he was dancing was pretty funny.
That's the goal. Entertaining.
It is entertaining. It is entertaining. But again, I see why they don't show him singing the song when they show this clip. It is always him just boogieing. It is never him singing.
I mean, the boogie is pretty impressive. I really
the boogie's very impressive. It is very impressive. As I said, performance-wise, it is great. Singing-wise, like I don't care what y'all say. We're not giving him that. Oh, he went out there and tried some shit you shouldn't try. This is American Idol's fault right here.
All right. Well, are you ready to press play again?
I am ready to press play again.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Here we go. So this is episode 2, y'all. Vince McMahon
Heat.
or McMahon documentary on Netflix called Heat. He pretty much killed all the territories, which we know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Saturday night's main event.
Do you think that's what they're going to do to the main event this time around as well?
I feel like it will. I mean, I feel like so because everything you have now, and you got the hip hop element now too. We might see a lot of it.
Yeah, especially it's in New York.
Yeah,
especially Long Island. That's like hip hop gold right there, New York.
$7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, hard grind is an understatement.
Mm-hmm. Imagine how many people got injured.
Yep.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Mm.
Oh.
How does he know that, though?
Pause this. Pause this.
Please pause it. Because I got a lot to say on this.
Okay. Recap for the people who are not watching with us, who are probably watching later. I feel like if you watch us later or you're watching us now, you have to be you should be watching the episode with us, but just let them know what we're watching or what we just saw.
So we just saw Hogan be a hoe out here, is what we just saw. Hogan is a full-fledged hoe. That's so messed up, bro. You went snitched? We snitching now?
Yep.
That's wild.
Just when Jesse the Body Ventura was getting ready to do a union, and he had it laid out, and you had the nerve to snitch to Vince and shut that down, considering, like, what if that union was in place?
Yo.
The question now is, do you think that the union would have actually went all the way through? If, I mean, just say Hulk Hogan didn't snitch. Do you think it would have been successful?
I think you could have, depending on like now based off of what Vince is saying, it's you would have to have gathered the right people. So we're looking at the time this is happening. It's like, okay, which one of these big ones are you going to have to get behind you? You know, Hogan's not going to be behind you, because if Hogan had said, okay, yo, I'm with you, this could have changed the whole perspective. But let's say, you know, you get Roddy behind you. I think Macho Man was there at the time. Like, you get Macho behind you. You get a few more of these other big names that he has that's going like, yeah, man, I think we need to do something about working 7 days out of the year. 7 days a week and not getting a chance to really rest, especially like, it's like, I know what it's like to be in there, taking them bumps and then having to try to get up out of bed the next day is brutal. And to say you got to go back within another 12 hours, that's wild. But for Hogan to be like, no, fuck all of y'all, I'm finna go snitch. That's a bitch move. That's some smooth in the shorts behavior right there.
But he pretty much said before he said he was gonna snitch, he said he was Vince's guy. He was Vince's guy. So if he's like, I understand what he's saying, but everybody kind of knew. I wonder if he was with Hulk Hogan. People didn't know that he would tell Vince. Because, you know, you have some people, like if you work in the office environment, right? You know, some people who are closer to the CEO or the manager or whatever, you can't say certain things around them because you know they're going to tell. So I wonder if that was the situation, because before he even said he snitched, he said he was Vince's guy. So I would gather at that time, people should have known that, like, he's that dude.
You a snitch. You a snitch. Because you could have still said nothing and remained loyal. You could have just really, like, us. If Vince walks up to you, he's like, yo, I didn't know nothing about that. Or two, you could have walked out and not said nothing. And then, but that, even to that, Boza, you have power to where you wouldn't be touched. It's just like, yo, okay, that's on y'all. If y'all gonna do that, cool. I'm not going to participate on it. But to go run the Vince and say, yo, Jesse's undermining you, like that's a lot. That's a lot to say, like, yo, these dudes, and then they're talking about like, oh, when WrestleMania comes, you're not going to have nobody that's going to work here. It's like, yo, you have no idea if that's true. You have no idea how that could have went or what Jesse was setting up. You really legit went snitch and threw all of them under the bus with those certain very few words. That's fucked up, especially for these folks that's getting injured that don't have a chance to get paid. Because that's the thing I'm thinking of now. Like, if you're Bret Hart messes up his clavicle bone and he has to go home. If that's your buddy, you just screwed your buddy over, because now he don't work. He don't make no money. But if he was in a union, he'd be taken care of till it was time for him to come back. And I'm sure they would have worked with Vince to come to find some middle ground, because what I'm picking up on him is he works for what's best for business. So he'd have made it work out in his favor and their favor.
Given the time, the era, right? Do you think, like now and even after the scandal, I think this took place before the scandal, if I'm correct.
It was it was right before it.
So it was before the scandal, right? In that era, because that was not just the wrestling; it was a lot of different not organizations, a lot of different careers where there was no guaranteed, or you had to come to work and all this other stuff. So given that era, and given Vince just essentially killed a majority of the territory. So he's now successful. You think if they came to him and said, this, we need to get paid X, Y, and Z, given he's already taken the from all the other promotions, not to say he can't take more, would he have really caved in?
That's like his ego. That's like his ego. It's like I'm thinking of his ego in a way.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is.
I think he would have heard them out. That's what I said. Like, if you'd have had, like, if you got your big guys outside of Hogan also going, like, hey, we just want to have a conversation about this and we want to talk. This is how we're feeling. This is where we're moving. We're here with you, but this is our bodies on the line. So how can we rework this to where we can make this a little bit longer lasting for us body wise? So we're not sitting here on painkillers. We're not sitting here afraid that we can't go to work. So now I'm wrestling with a sprained foot that I've been having for the last like 3 months, but I can't say anything because I'm the Intercontinental Champion right now. Like, that's not what's best for business. So a conversation would have really been taken into consideration. But the way Hogan presented it is, oh, Jesse's trying to fuck you and undermine you. And it's like, now you got competitive Vince out. Now you got the person that want to argue. You got the person that's like, oh, you want to challenge me? Well, let's go then. And that's Hogan's fault. Hogan,
I guess so. Maybe you guys have more faith in the man, but when you have that ego and the ego has been successful, it's very hard to tell somebody to just another direction. But we'll never find out. But as Councilman Pharaoh said, look, Hogan killed the business.
You a whole
in that sort of way. Y'all ready to get started?
Yeah. Count us down.
Woo. 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
Jeez.
My God.
3 shows in one day.
Okay. Is it impressive? Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Like logistics. Yeah.
WrestleMania 3.
$93,000 people for WrestleMania 3.
Andre the Giant.
Damn.
Ooh,
93,000 people for WrestleMania 3.
that's a lot.
NFL ain't doing that.
Mm-mm-mm. Oh, look at Howard Finkel.
Dang, that place is huge. Like, I know we got huge like arenas and stadiums now, but it's like
Aretha
that.
Franklin
Yep.
opened WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Wow.
Yes, she did.
Now you forgot all the other stuff that happened at WrestleMania 3.
Alice Cooper.
Mm. What up, David? We are watching episode 2 of the McMahon's or Mr. McMahon on Netflix.
Hope y'all watching along.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, so he didn't even know going out there?
Nope.
Nope.
Yo, that's dangerous. I'm not gonna lie, that's dangerous. That's how you know that crowd was loud. Because that's a huge place.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. So he sacrificed his back.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. It's storytelling.
Mhm.
Damn. So what? Vince is like the Tony Khan?
Man, pause it. Because this is one of the reasons why I can see why people don't be liking David Meltzer as much. Because here's one thing we all know: as if you're an entrepreneur, you do business, you always fluff the number. You never give the exact number. Like TK, if you had an event and we knew that 1,863 people came, we're gonna say 200,000 people. It's not.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, I see. I think in the grand schemes and stuff like this, unless he was, there's two sets of numbers. I feel like, right? The numbers that you tell the investors, the actual numbers you're investing in, but then also the numbers that make people want to go and see you more. So I get where, and then also you keep telling yourself a number, I think you actually might believe it. I honestly do wonder if did the numbers or he just took a number and ran with it.
If who took a number and just ran with it?
Vince took the number and ran with it. It was 78, but it felt like 93. Our information officer Bosa said, I don't know why I know why my computer is acting slow. Amen, gentlemen. This is what we have been doing for years, and Uncle Dave has been accusing you of that. Include the workers, and well,
but also NFL does that. NBA does it. Everyone does that.
Every sport.
That's what every sport does that.
Baseball.
Everyone. So that's why I'm just like, I don't get why people why do y'all want to be such realistic Randys in a world of fiction? Like if it looked like 93,000 people were there. Like we know that's how much the stadium feels.
Yeah.
If we're looking at it, Courtney, we've seen like when All In had it at Wembley. If they were to say, "Oh, we sold out," no, sir, no, we saw those seats. Looking at this one, you didn't see no empty seat. So it's believable to say like, yo, they filled out this whole stadium.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, stop hating on these numbers and trying to go like, well, no, really it was 73,000. It was still 73,000 people to come watch wrestling.
I mean, back then that was a big deal. That
was a huge deal. And I'm just like, why are y'all trying to undermine it? Because you don't. Well, I'm like, because I don't think y'all know the exact number. I don't think anyone knows the exact number.
They just want to be right. That's it. Just want to be right. That's it.
It's like, oh, well, it was really this many because these are the ones that bought tickets and saw it. I'm like, okay, just because you work there, you are still technically in attendance. You need a pass to get in. So you're given a ticket to get in. Yep. So technically you're still in attendance. So why does that not count? It's like, oh, well, that's not real. So none of them stopped and watched the monitor when this was going on? Stop. Get out of here. Get out of here. Like, stop that shit. Like, haters. Just haters.
Been that way too, but
you always fluff the numbers in all sports. So if they gonna hate on that, I want to start saying that shit with the NFL when the Super Bowl come out. We had 112,000 people. Actually, you had 98. You had 98 in attendance. You don't never hear that in the NFL. No one ever comes for them with that in the NFL.
You don't hear that Super Bowl. You don't even hear that for the World Series. You don't even hear that for any of the NBA finals.
Nope. But for some reason, wrestling, they gotta hate. TK is having some technical difficulties. Apparently, Trick Williams requires a lot of internet while he's over there chilling with her. I don't know what he's doing. I guess it has to do with a lot of baby oil, according to the mayor. But she told us to keep going, and she will hop back in. So, Courtney, are you ready to get back into this thing?
Yeah, I'm actually ready for this.
All right, we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1.
It wasn't catchy.
Hey.
Wait, catchy tune.
I know Hogan ain't shit, but man, that song is fire. Wait, can we pause this? Because I have a hot take. I feel like this song should be a Negro spiritual. If you listen to the lyrics, that shit pertains to us. That should be our like theme song. Like, yo, I'm a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. I don't know why people wasn't fighting for every man.
Are you saying that it's crazy that you say that given what it's kind of known for now?
I know. That's why I was like, I don't think Hogan should have had that song. Hogan should have not had that song. That should have been for somebody else. I get it. He was the American hero and whatnot at the time, but I'm like, that song, I would have loved for a black person to have that song.
Oh my goodness.
That would have had a lot of eyes looking differently on that. But we ain't had nobody with enough heat like that. And that person didn't come later till we got The Rock. So I understand. Wait, I don't know if TK can hear us.
I can hear
TK,
you.
I look like I'm looking at you on a Razor phone right now. I can't even hear you. I look and it went off. I know you smell like cocoa butter and cocoa nut. I can see that part, but it just keeps stopping.
Press play.
All righty. We go in 3, 2, 1. Man, they talk about black people.
Still talking about him, which is crazy. Coke Man workouts at.
Dang, $200 million.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. That's like a
What? What the hell? Let us know in the chat who's watched the Hulk Hogan movie.
I have.
oh.
It was one of them TBS Saturday marathons.
Oh my god, WrestleMania 4. I believe that was the WrestleMania Trump Plaza was at.
Oh yeah. Damn.
Man, the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, so you can go DTV.
Pretty much.
Who wasn't really one in real life though.
No.
Mm-mm.
Uh, I was getting death threats. It's kind of crazy
Yeah.
what wrestlers would do to sacrifice like their home life for the
Mhm.
story.
Yeah. Dang, oh yeah, Desert Storm.
Mm-hmm. Of course, the match wins. WrestleMania 7, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You see McCullough there? Donald Trump in the audience.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, the trial.
Yep. Mm.
That man looked like he was slinging dope, though.
Who?
Wait, am I too far?
Yeah, you might be too far because I'm on WrestleMania still.
Okay, no, let me go back.
Now this is the steroid child.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Hey, to my folks in the UK. Make sure you follow and like us. Talking about Dr. Georgia, he doesn't look like he sells drugs. He looks like a character.
That man look like he's slaying drugs.
Yeah.
Like if I needed to go get something and they said go meet this guy here today, that's who gonna answer the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are. We are watching the Vince McMahon documentary. If you want to join along, we're watching episode 2 right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Oh, Will, got you. Okay, cool. Now I know.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. World Bodybuilder Federation.
I wonder what he's up to now.
Let's fold this.
I don't know. quote unquote drug free.
Dang. Dr. Sahorian giving all the tea.
Vince face at the end. Jalen, we are at the second episode. We are at the steroid trial where they're talking about introducing a drug policy into the WWE. We're at timestamp 2724. What on? I'm sorry, hold on. My fault. 2812 is the timestamp.
Oh my goodness, Hulk Hogan was on Arsenio Hall.
Wow.
Oh.
Dumbass.
Even Bruno Sammartino said it.
Three times.
Well, to be fair, only 3 people said that they did it, so he could still be telling the truth.
There's that. Wrestling and steroids. Oh, look at his hair.
Bill Munchnick.
He just sound like
what timestamp are we on?
Timestamp is 29:59.
29:40.
Is she hopping on?
I don't know.
I was gonna say because we could pause it.
Yeah.
Is the steroids a bad thing in this particular? Hold on, can we pause it?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Because I gotta ask this. Now, I get where steroids would be an issue in football and baseball and basketball. But in this particular sport that's entertainment, where you're told what the outcome is, why wasn't steroids okay in this case? Outside of the health hazards, like that I know, but just like most of these people look at it bad because it's like, oh, it's unfair because of competition. But it's like, okay, this is staged competition. We know who the winner is.
I think that what the reason was the health hazards and the amounts that they were taking. I think that was the main thing. It was like, it's one thing to take it to make you faster or stronger, but the aesthetics is not a big thing as long as you're producing whatever. But if it's the aesthetics, I think is the amount that they're taking. And then also, I mean, I don't think they were able to tell that now, but when we look at like all those documentaries on wrestlers who took that stuff, their family life was terrible. They were abusive. They were, they wanted they were taking other drugs on top of that. So I don't know if they were discovering the science behind it and the ramifications of taking it, but I definitely think it was just more the health. Like the fact that you take steroids and now you've gained, X number of muscle weight, like that's not, and if you're like 165 and now you gain 100 pounds worth of muscle, which might be exaggerating, but for your frame, health-wise, it doesn't make sense. So I think it was just more on the health and how these men and women were looking not normal, like you just weren't. It was just too much for the body.
Yet liquor is still around, and it does all of those things. Hey,
liquor is still around. It does all those things.
It is very harmful. Liquor is
transform your body.
Yes.
Liquor transforms your body.
Yes, yes, you could definitely get a liquor build. Now, don't don't bulk up your muscles or nothing, but you can definitely get a liquor build.
What does a liquor build look like?
That's some drug dealers be walking around with them big bellies. They be still with that belly out. You can get a liquor body, but it also cause health issues. And I've known personally that it do be having dudes beat the shit out their wives. Yet that shit is sold at Walmart. Just saying.
In the US, yes. In Canada, they actually have a store for that. But in the US, yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the reasoning behind that is also politics. So that could be a reason for it as well. The same way where, we looked at marijuana at one point, like very short time ago, less than 8 years ago, 10 years ago. And now you can go everywhere to a store, but the taxes are going to the government. So maybe that's one of the reasons. But I don't know. That'd be I don't know. I know Bosa, you're all things wrestling, but as the information officer, you probably look up for us the pluses and minuses with liquor and steroids, and we'll see if Bosa has time. Because up until this point, actually, Bosa, I don't know where you live. You have been rocking with Women's Wrestling Talk for a better part of I don't know, like 10 years since After Buzz days, and I do not know if you are in America, you were somewhere else in the world. But it just seems like you're always up. So, yeah. Anyways, shout out to Bosa. Our information.
Yeah. Shout out to Bosa. And I'm not advocating for steroids, just so that is very clear. You
do be in the gym every day, so
nah, I don't want to. I like my testicles. I'll say it in that type of thing. I like my testicles. But no, I was just very curious as because of like, if you know the trial, it's just like of how hard they was coming at him with this. And I'm just like, I don't feel like y'all coming at him for this because of the health issues. I think like how you said, it's the politic thing. And I'm just like, okay, so do y'all really care that steroids are being used, or are you just using this as leverage for your political standpoint? And it's like, that's what I get curious about. Well, hello there.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Howdy, freaking duty. What's going on, guys?
We're talking about how
steroids and liquor.
Yep.
Wonderful. Sounds like a conversation worth having. Hey, everybody in the chat. Oh, sorry I'm late.
Long
night at the honey pot. Long night.
All right. Are we ready to press play?
Yeah.
Where are we at?
We are at I'm at 30-10.
I'm at 30-30.
I'm at 30-15. So pick one of the three. 3
I'm at 30-40. There we go.
There you go. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Boom. The snooker stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is wild.
So much.
Ooh.
Wait, y'all on snooker right now?
No, I'm not on it yet.
It's like about to be on snooker.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, Tony Atlas, I love you.
Damn, it's not funny, but it's funny.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, now we're on snooker. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm. No charges were ever filed. That's so crazy.
Um,
Mm-mm.
Mm.
I want to talk about relentless.
Mm-hmm.
woo!
Bill Mushnick was on Vince like white on rice.
It's like everything, like
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Literally.
The steroid child. Well, I'm not gonna jump further, but
Yeah.
What?
I did not know this. I did not know about this scandal.
The Ring Boys?
Can we pause for a
Uh-huh.
minute? Can we pause for a minute?
Yep.
Can
let's
we
pause.
put yo
The ring boss and brought in ring boys.
the Ring Boys?
Because that sounds
That sounds horrible.
that's
Yo,
It
that,
does.
freaking awful.
That's
it
like one.
just
That's like one of the scandals I did not know about. I know it feels weird, but I never heard about
That
it.
I didn't. Yeah, that was something new on
either.
the. I was like, this is crazy, and it gets crazier
yo.
In this episode, or like
as you
this is a
progress.
lot.
As you
Yeah, like,
progress, it's just a lot.
It
It's
gets
a
bad.
lot.
It gets bad throughout that.
Yo.
It gets really bad.
It's like you watch this documentary and you're interested in it. You're like, oh my god, I can't wait to find out everything. And then when you find out, you're like, you
Yep.
start making this face. You're like, you start making this face. You're like, I don't know if I want to know this.
Hoo, hoo, hoo.
The Ring Boys. No.
Ring boss and brought in ring boys. That
You
just
couldn't have told me that's what the job title was and not think something bad is going to happen.
absolutely.
Like what's the job occupation? You're going to be one of the Ring Boys. No.
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 Like what ring you say?
What other jobs y'all got? Is catering hiring? I go help. I go help.
I'll cater. I'll serve the
Mhm.
food all day.
You're not calling me a ring boy. Fuck that.
Nope, nope,
No.
Don't think so.
It just sounds like there's a certain length of shorts that you're gonna wear as a ring boy. Like short shorts come with that term, ring boys.
Well, I mean, at that time, everyone was wearing short shorts, even the basketball players.
You're not helping with what I'm saying. That's why this sounds very horrible, and I feel bad for whoever was a ring boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
what is this comment? I beg your pardon.
Yeah,
Wait,
we're
what?
gonna. Now I got it.
Snog. I've never heard that one.
Oh, that's kissing.
Well,
That's from Harry Potter. That's from Harry Potter's term, snogging. They was out
snog.
here snogging.
Yeah,
no
read
thanks.
that. All right, let's hit play.
Yes.
Ready?
Here
I
we
need to watch
go.
3, 2, 1.
Underage ring boys.
Woo!
Ring boss.
Just wait.
Wait until it gets further.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Brett. I love Brett. Brett, throughout this whole documentary, did not give two shits. He just told it like it is. He straight up said Mel, whatever his name was a pedophile.
Woo!
Oh, and Pat Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Here comes the part that everybody was talking about.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Oh, refused. Mm-mm.
Yep.
How you offer a 16-year-old cocaine and
Cocaine.
alcohol?
Oh my God, I can't.
First
Like,
of all, why are you working?
why,
Why
how
are you
you
working?
how you got your working papers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you're
But
allowed
then
to
again-
work at 16.
But
I don't feel like
was
this
that
is the
was
place
that
that had
the
that
age
paperwork.
then? I don't know what the
No.
age was then.
Yeah.
Like working, not even working papers, not even at 16. Like what? Oh my God.
Wait,
Sex
so
lies.
did McMahon say he knew about it?
He didn't, but
I think he
was
knew about
saying
the
that
scandal.
he kind of sugarcoated a bit.
he just mentioned that Mushnick was basically out to get him.
And all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like, how do you prove that? Perverts.
Mm.
Oof. They're all super freaks.
He kept grabbing my pecker.
He said one of the three was innocent. Vince said that.
Mm,
So that means he did know something. Where's Tony Atlas? I'm waiting for the part.
yeah, right there.
He said his pecker.
Yeah, he
Okay.
said peck.
He kept grabbing my
Yeah,
Pecker.
he
pecker.
said Becker.
Why did they
He said
ask him
pecker.
twice? Why did
Wait,
they
pause,
ask him
pause,
twice?
pause.
Okay.
Yo, the people that made this documentary ain't shit.
He said, I didn't like Pat Patterson because he would grab my pecker. And the interviewer was like, he what?
What? He heard him. I know
Yeah.
he
He had
heard
to
him. say,
re-clarify.
Y'all ain't shit for that. Don't make no dude with no sleeves say that shit more than once.
And for those watching and listening, we're not laughing at what Tony Atlas is saying. It was the interviewer like, he what?
Yeah, that's what I'm laughing
Come
at.
again? Like, I beg your pardon?
And because like you could just tell Atlas don't give no fucks, and he just telling it. Like, that's what happened.
I believe Atlas because I mean we've seen him on numerous occasions in interviews, even on Dark Side of the Ring and such as he. I believe a lot of the things that he says because he seems pretty straightforward about it, and even Brett, like they just don't care. Like they're gonna tell you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
All right. Oh goodness.
He what? He's like,
See?
why'd you go ask him again? Why you gonna ask him again?
And then he's like,
Three,
did you
two,
guys complain? And how do you complain to who? You complaining to the booker? It didn't seem like there was no sense of HR, like
there was
taking
no
control of the
HR,
situation either.
There was like nothing. There was no like structure of it. It's like you had to go to the booker and that was it.
You either take it or you go home.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Oh, this is so. I don't know if I should be watching this before I go to bed.
Dark Side of the Ring all over again.
Oh
My
yeah.
God.
Hmm. And the fact that he was insisting on it, that it wasn't true in order to protect the business, that's crazy, man.
Mm. Mm.
Oh, Phil Donahue.
Back in the day, Phil Donahue.
McMahon was on Phil Donahue.
Yep.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Mm.
I didn't sleep with your vice president. 2 weeks later, I'm fired.
My goodness. Dave Messler with when he had hair right next to him.
There's a lot of interesting comments in here. I need somebody to specify this comment. What do you mean Randy Orton did the same thing? What are you talking about?
Oh,
sir?
pause it.
Yeah, pause.
He's talking about when like Randy would go like take a piss and grab his dick and then tell you to shake his hand. Like that was one of his things that he used to do.
What?
Yeah, no, that's a known thing. Yeah,
That's common knowledge.
Yeah, that's common. Randy was wild as fuck. Like
I know Randy was wild, but I didn't know that wild.
Yeah, like they'd be like, "Yo, it was
intentionally."
It was like a. It was a gag
by accident.
Yeah, it was like a funny thing. Like like he saw it as a joke.
Funny.
Like people would tell him, like, "Hey, beware of Randy if he tell you to shake his hand." It's like why? Because he just grabbed his dick with it before he shakes your hand.
We need the allegedly video.
I'm telling you, Google it. I'm telling you,
all
Google
it is.
Google it, Randy Orton penis hands. Just and watch what comes up. Watch what comes up. I'm telling you.
Oh my god!
I mean, it's Bosa's thing. I think Bosa's a very trustworthy source as the information officer.
Yeah, it was a prank. It was a prank.
It was an ass back. In the day, he would do a prank like that. Former WWE diva Rochelle admitted pranks like that. That's why she quit.
Yeah.
You know what?
No, that's just what again. It's boys being boys. The same way, like on the plane ride from hell, like Flair was running around in a trench coat with nothing under.
That
splash.
We forgot to talk about that episode. That episode was wild.
I didn't watch that episode yet.
As far as the penis hands,
I'm not feeling it.
I hope you wouldn't be feeling it. Like
that's just not. It's so weird now because now I'm gonna look at Randy and I'm gonna be like,
no, and he's admitted it. He was like, yo, he's admitted like he was wrong for his dude. Yeah, like he said like, yo, I was an asshole back then. There was a lot of like,
and he could change. He's grown up.
Yeah, he grew up.
I get that, but it's just like, you did what now? I never did that. That's news to me.
Point, yeah, but to your point of calling it out though, Dally Pool, like those are things that get handled inside the business. So it's like, yo, that's some stuff like, yo, we pulling you out to the side, like, hey, you gotta stop doing that stuff. Like it didn't need to. It's not saying, again, I don't know if that was the catalyst of why that lady quit officially, or if it was because some other things too. But it's like those are in-house things that you handle.
Snog.
Neither did I, Bosa.
I can't get over that.
Well,
let's
Are we
proceed.
ready to hit play?
Yeah.
3, 2, what?
Yo, Jimmy Hart with this hair still is killing me. I don't know what they want out in the open or not. So what do you know, Jimmy?
He knows.
This is the part. The first women's referee.
Wow, I did not know that.
There's only one.
Oh.
Damn.
Great choice of words, Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we'll see more of her in the times to come.
After what Tony said, and then just seeing her, it's like, yo, that poor woman. That poor woman.
She actually talked about it. That's crazy.
My God.
Mhm.
He admits it. He admits to it because he said it was consensual.
Yeah. Quote unquote consensual.
Still. And then countersues.
Hold on, pause.
This is where I knew it was gonna get interesting. I came just in time. Look at TK. Look at boss lady. She's gagged right now. She's gagged.
I'm not finna say this, but I'm gonna say it.
Good.
That did not make Vince look good at all.
No.
Like
No.
you this is literally what you did. You went from okay, maybe I could question it to did you just say that? It's like there's
Here's
no way
the
you
problem.
just followed up with that statement. The statute of limitation part has ran out. It's like, really, bro?
Had it been a rape, but it was consensual.
Here is the bigger problem. WWE used to make their own programming, and they kind of don't do that. They partner with companies. I don't know if Vince thought he kind of got through all this stuff, that he is so untouchable that he could trust another company to do this and not like he didn't. It's very clear. I mean, they said in the beginning of episode 1 that he stopped doing interviews after the whole allegation stuff like that, but he definitely in whatever the paperwork was, he relinquished creative control. And again, I'm not saying that this stuff shouldn't come to light, but if you guys watch WWT, when I'm on, I'm like always talking about wanting to be in the writer's room. What legal team allowed this and no creative control? If he had creative control, once he walked off, this documentary could have just been X'd.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that it's seeing the light of day, and again, it should, but the fact that this is seeing the light of day for somebody who was as powerful as him is crazy to me. Where is his lawyers?
Well, also though, TKO could own this, and he could have had that being owned while the time he was there, and then having to like step down and sell all of your stock. You lose a whole bunch of stuff. Like I think too, like he don't have the rights to like Hogan stuff anymore after having to step down. Like all of that is a part of like TKO and stuff.
If I were him, you could lose the rights of everything else, but your likeness, your face, where you appear at, there has and this may or may not come to light, but I'm now way more curious after that one statement in episode 2, y'all. We're in episode 2. After that one statement,
only episode 2.
Like this is and you know, like I said, Will and I were talking earlier today. It's just kind of like one of those things where well, I can't even say what I said this morning, but it's just
that's offline.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hear that when we get off.
That's but what's crazy about it too is it's like after what Tony said, and for this to go on, it's like women were treated like toys back there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, damn, dude, you saying this, and I'm just like, again, not saying that he did it, not saying that she's wrong. I'm not siding on anything.
Weak.
Not
but
saying
this
anything.
wasn't the only industry that was doing it too. The entertainment industry on a whole, like I'm not trying to like say, oh well, we shouldn't look at this, but I think what people have to take in consideration, if you look back at like, you know, those documentaries that talked about the 70s and 80s and stuff that was happening, the industry on a whole, like it wasn't, even if you look at rap in the 2000s and 90s, like they weren't. So we're just coming into the era. If you look at women's wrestling, we're just coming into the era where, you know, women are getting traded fairly and main eventing and stuff like that. And it's not to say that that should be, we should ignore it based off of that timeline. But you have to remember, like at that time, what Tony Atlas said, everybody was doing it. Not
And
to say
mind you-
negate all that stuff, but
and mind you, there was no internet or anything like that. It
Nope.
was just whatever came out in the papers.
Yeah.
And there's thousands and thousands of things that I'm sure did not make those papers. I mean, but
oh
Lord.
I'm just curious at what is Mr. McMahon's perception of what was the word, that it was consensual. Like I would have liked for him to like walk me through what you can remember how that night went and what you consider consensual. And
the crazy thing is, if you remember episode 1, in the first 3 to 4 minutes of the episode, and Dally Pool, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying that was what was happening in that era. Not saying it's okay, saying that's what was happening. If you watch episode 1, the first 5 minutes, Vince said, I could tell you some stories, but I'm not going to. And we have 9 episodes of stories that he's not going to tell, bro.
Which means is like, what the hell was this point of this documentary if you're not going to tell us anything? Like you should like it should have been more than 6 episodes if that's the case.
Well, what it's looking like though is it's like it looks like you're painting a perception based off the character that we grew up watching. Mm-hmm. So all of this lines up with this, but from what I'm seeing, it's looking like, okay, y'all are showing like all of this bad stuff. So we're like, now we're at WrestleMania 7. So since WrestleMania 7, there's not one good thing this man has done. Like there's no like shred of humanity this man has shown within that had to have been 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's nothing.
Yeah, we're not
like,
gonna
and that's what I was trying to tell Professor the other day, where it's like it kind of leaves me confused because it blurs the lines of like, is this about Vince or is this about the character Mr. McMahon that he created and the allegations? Right. And it's like you don't know where to draw the line of what's what, because he's telling you stuff, but he's saying like, I don't want people to know the real me. And it's like, so what's the point of this? Then what was the point of this?
Right.
Well, no, if you're looking at it like this, I don't know if it continues like this with the other episodes, but if it do, I can see why he did this, because it's like, yo, no matter what I tell y'all, you're going to base it off of the character you saw. That's what you're going to base it off. You don't know me. You don't know me as a person. None of them.
And you'll never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
And then that's the double-edged sword of it, though, because then now it's left to opinion. So you'll have somebody like somebody else be like, no, that was him 100%. Or that's like, no, that was like him turned up to an extreme or something. You'll never have nobody really tell you.
It's really hard to draw the line, only because of, you know, at the time, especially, you know, like what Professor said the other day, hurt people. And it's like, you could see, even when in the moments where he talked about his dad, and of course there's going to be moments where he talks about the family and everything like that. And it's just like, dude, you had to be aware of some things and aware of what you can only control what you do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why put people in that position knowing that you've been in that same position yourself? But that's because you're so head deep in the business that it's like you choose to bury everything behind you or in the past. Like that's one thing he mentions in the documentary here. He's like, I don't like looking back. But it's like, dude, and sometimes you have to, because you hurt a lot of people, whether you thought you did or didn't. It doesn't matter. There's people that remember that it was you and you hurt them, and you don't take accountability for it.
But to that point, though, and again, not trying to take up from, just showing on the other side, though, if you grew up like that, to where this abusive stepfather made it seem like that too,
and
like,
mother.
no, I'm never going to apologize for that. Just move forward. Like, why are we talking about this? Where do you think that stems from? And I'm like, and I'm sure Vince Sr. probably was the same way, as like, yo, I have to think about this stuff. I can't keep it in the past. And then also too, of just how painful it might be for that, of just like, okay, I don't know what I might unlocking here looking back.
Yeah.
And I am always, even in my present time, having to look 10 years ahead. Like, what is the next thing? How do we capitalize on this? I don't focus on this one part. I'm focusing on the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
And as y'all said, because of that, you don't see what's around you.
And not for nothing,
Right.
he says things like that going forward in the documentary. He was like, I'm already thinking about the next thing once that thing is over, or the next few things. And I'm just like, dude, like, I understand your mind is on business, but you gotta take yourself out of that and have, like we talked about this last night, Courtney, like have some empathy and accountability for actions that you and respond. Just take responsibility. This all happened under your watch in your company.
It's not good it's not good to be in relationship with business like 24/7. You need to kind of take a step back on something.
Here is the problem. Everything you guys have said is something that is relative to this era. Vince is 79 years old.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know a lot of folks of that age. Accountability and self-awareness, and
they don't believe in that.
That's it's not even not believe. That's just not part. That's not. We're just in an era where you could take. You're talking about accountability, self-awareness. You're talking about therapy. You're talking about looking back at your childhood. We're just getting into that. Like he's 79 years old,
and we all have grandparents and we all have grandparents and great grandparents here that when shit hits the fan and family stuff, and all of a sudden the next day they just move forward and act like nothing happened. Like that's dead. Like, I'm sorry, that's dead. But you like, even still, like, whether it was the time or not, if you knew you didn't like how you knew you didn't like that treatment. So it's like, why put that treatment onto others?
Well, I mean, because that's all you know. So it's the same way of like, if I love but that's all, again, that's all you know. And then for him to be all about business, as Courtney said, why it's a bad thing, the business you was in a perpetual state of war. He had people constantly coming at him because of how he started it and because of how he had to maintain it. Like, literally, we see this all the time. This is a drug dealer movie. This is what Vince is. Vince is distributing a drug that is called sports entertainment. And you watch
we talked about it yesterday, like how he moved around to, take all the territories over. It was like some mob shit. It was crazy.
You had to remain on top. And not only that, like he even just said it, and it's like, now I have all these people coming for me. I have this schmuck of a reporter writing in the newspaper every day about how I ain't shit. Now apparently I'm the one giving out steroids. I'm sitting here, now people are mad at me because I revolutionized the business. It's like, okay, bet, bring it, bitches, let's go then. And then it's like, yo, this is all you know now. It's fight head on. It's like, yo, I have to destroy everybody to remain on top. And it's just like, because you have just 24-hour business, it turns you into that to where you couldn't look back because you didn't even have time to stop to smell the roses.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Here we go. 3, 2,
God. 15 minutes left.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Damn.
Why he come at her like that? What do you expect to gain out of this? Why did you come to her rather?
Defamation of character.
That's like insensitive. That's like insensitive.
Yeah, that's wild.
I want to know what Mushnick's vendetta was.
Ooh, that would be
good. Yeah, he had to have known something.
Why Vince is your target? Like, did you go to school or something together and he bullied the shit out of you or something?
Nah, somebody told you something that you ain't saying.
Right. Something. My thing also is like Linda, man. Like, being the wife of this man.
Different era.
No easy feat.
But
And
again,
it goes to the times. Like we've seen it, we see it in movies and everything like that. And people like us, when we see it, our age, we're like, oh hell no, that couldn't have been me. Hell no, no. But
I don't go against my husband. They follow those vows of marriage. You're like,
He was an FBI informant.
oh, he a hoe. Oh, this guy. You a op?
You a op.
Damn. I didn't realize how Jack Mr. McMahon was like throughout his career. I keep forgetting that. Like, yo, you were swole most of the time.
I'm surprised he didn't wrestle, but you know, his dad didn't want him to. And Linda even said it in high school. He had that bad boy persona about him.
Yeah.
That's why he had that haircut. Okay.
That's
what attracted her to him.
That's why he had the little
the little flip to the.
Yeah, every time I say that,
if it went lower, it'd be like emo, like cut my life.
Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
Oh my god!
Over again.
Cut my life into pieces.
Vince would definitely have been singing that.
Dear God.
Not the neck brace in court, though. Not the Tony Khan. Not the neck brace.
This is why, yo, I'm telling you, Vince McMahon writes the world now. Like, he left WWE to now write out the world. He is scripting the world now and what's happening out here. This shit is why he knows what this is gonna do.
Oh my gosh, Vince is crazy.
That's an awful picture. The smile with the neck brace.
He looked
his
high.
face was like
he looked out of it.
Oh man.
Vince McEmo.
Sage, yeah, I know Vince had a few matches, but I'm talking about like I'm surprised he didn't turn professional wrestler, like legit, because we know he's a terrible wrestler. Can't even take a stunner correctly.
Oh wow.
Damn. Did you take your shot today?
Did you take your
shot? That's what you get. That's what you get for breaking up a union, you snitch ass bitch.
Did you did you take the jab? Thank you for Hulkamania. Look at their faces. Like, you know, Vince was like, fuck you. I can't believe you're doing this.
Yo, his eyes are saying it though.
Yes.
His eyes are definitely saying, fuck you, bro. Can't believe you did.
And Hulk Hogan's like, I'm sorry, brother. Oh God. And then good old Ted Turner.
Dang, that's Jane Fonda. I forgot he was married to her.
Jane Fonda.
Dang.
There's so many things you see in here. Like either you didn't know it or you like forgot. And you're like, oh shit.
Definitely on the
forgot about that. Hey, Eric Bischoff, Bischoff.
The Bish.
Oh,
no. I used to call him that in the 90s because I was like strictly WWE. Like I loved, like my dad and I would go back and forth on WCW and WWE on Monday night, of course, all the time. But I would always call Eric Bischoff because just I was biased. Oh my God.
RoboCop. Wow.
Stop it.
Oh, the Robo.
Y'all seen Kevin Nash in that goofy ass goblin suit?
Mm-hmm. And Ted smiling.
Yo, you know what's wild? WCW is basically looking like NXT during that time.
No, you think?
Size wise,
You think?
yeah. If you look at the size of what WCW looked like
well,
in that studio, yeah,
yeah,
that
well,
look like
yeah.
NXT.
You're right. Oh boy, here comes the move to WCW for Terry Bollea.
Thunder in Paradise.
Not for nothing. It was so funny in the beginning when you saw everybody getting ready for their interviews and Hogan's like this with the mirror and like with,
Just make sure
with
the
whatever
hair.
hair he has left. Guaranteed money. $1 million a year. How many days you want? Can you imagine that?
Dang.
Nobody turning that shit down. As opposed to 300 days for pennies? Shit.
Wow.
Lying ass again. Lying ass again. I will never go to the other guys. I would never turn on you.
Wrong answer.
And here you are showing up on TNT. Lying ass. You a damn lie, Hulk Hogan.
I see why though this dude don't never want to be vulnerable. Cause I know they were close, yo. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think one of the few times I've seen Vince actually be vulnerable was when he cried about Andre. And we have that clip. He was special.
See, yo, it broke his heart, yo. Because you attacked on both fronts, business and personal. Why he on trial?
And your biggest box office superstar is leaving you
to go work for your enemy.
I love Shane. I would never turn on you. Yeah, okay.
I think that's the last time we actually saw the real Vince. The sliver.
Yeah, because also too, just think of it from a business side, how you messed up. Like as a businessman, it's just like, yo, I can't believe I didn't think of a no compete clause for when these people leave. Like, shit, why didn't I think of that?
Like, hello. And then testified against McMahon at the same time. Like you double crossed. You left after you said you weren't going anywhere else, and you testified against him.
He puts the hoe in Hogan.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Capitalize the H and the O on all his shit, and then
these hoes ain't loyal.
Lowercase the Gan, because he's a hoe.
Who's Dally Pool? Way too young to remember the 90s. Try us. Try us.
They forced Hogan to. He could have played the fifth, though.
He definitely could.
Yeah. I wonder if he really snitched on him.
I'm sure he did. He snitched on just either body. He'll snitch on anybody.
Well, I get Jesse because he ain't like Jesse no way.
Oh yeah, even to this day.
Yeah, they don't like each other. Yeah.
Immunity, you lucky bastard.
Yeah, that's a lot to throw on there with the FBI coming at you.
In 94, Vince McMahon withdrew his defamation lawsuit against Rita and Geraldo Rivera. In 2023, during a temporary lift of the statute of limitations, alleged victims of sexual offenses in New York State, McMahon paid a multi-million-dollar settlement to Cheddar, and McMahon continues to deny any wrongdoing. But he said there it was consensual. It might not have. You might not think it might have been wrongdoing, but it was.
That's why I say I
It's
would
all
love to
perception
know
and perspective.
what his perception of consensual is.
Woo.
Mhm.
I would be very curious to know, like, how do you see this?
Woo.
It's
All right.
consensual.
Before we could put a pause on that because we're gonna do a post show. So y'all want to stay? I'm gonna. Well, you guys who are hosting might want to pull that up on another screen if you can. And
Wait,
we're gonna do a post show on another.
Oh, we post showing.
Post showing. So you guys who are in the chat, just stay with us, and in less than 90 seconds, we're gonna wrap up episode number 2. With that being said, we'll catch you all on the flip side in like 90 seconds. So keep it locked to this channel. If I can find the outro. Ciao, y'all.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WWTalkPod. Like and